The documentary begins with a brutal industrial audit of the Blackburn Botha, an aircraft that remains one of the most significant mechanical failures in British aviation history. We analyze the symmetry-breaking Air Ministry specification M1535, which demanded a twin-engine reconnaissance torpedo bomber that could do everything but was given the power to do nothing. The Botha was designed around the Bristol Perseus sleeve valve engines, but the physics of mass betrayed the design from day one. We detail the structural scandal where the aircraft's empty weight exceeded its design specifications by thousands of pounds, resulting in a machine that was illegal to fly under full combat load. This segment explores the acoustic terror and physical strain of the test flights, where pilots discovered the Botha had almost zero lateral stability. We perform a mechanical audit of the flight controls, which were so heavy and unresponsive that they required zero-margin physical strength just to maintain level flight. The narrative examines the forbidden aerodynamics of the cockpit, an expansive glass house that offered incredible visibility but created a greenhouse effect that exhausted crews before they even reached the target zone. We conclude with the industrial resignation of the RAF, which realized too late that the Botha was a mechanical dead end that couldn't even climb on a single engine, a mandatory requirement for any maritime patrol craft. The second act audits the Botha's short-lived and disastrous tactical interface with the Coastal Command. Despite its known structural failures, the Botha was pushed into service during the desperate days of 1940. We analyze the zero-margin missions over the North Sea, where crews were forced to fly a torpedo bomber that was too slow to outrun even the most basic German interceptors. This was a symmetry-breaking tragedy. The Botha was intended to hunt U-boats, but its physics of failure meant it was more of a danger to its own crews than the enemy. We break down the internal ballistics of its defensive armament, which was poorly positioned and left the aircraft with massive forbidden blind spots. We dive deep into the mechanical soul of the squadrons assigned to the Botha. The narrative captures the pilot-to-platform friction, the literal fear that permeated the airfields. This segment includes a global audit of the Botha's attrition rate, which was shockingly high, not due to enemy action, but due to mechanical fatigue and engine failure. We analyze the symmetry of disaster on the night of December 6, 1940, when two Bothas collided in mid-air, a forbidden event that highlighted the aircraft's terrible cockpit visibility in low-light conditions. This act serves as a mechanical eulogy for the crews who were ordered to fly a machine that the Air Ministry already knew was an industrial ghost. The finale explores the tactical longevity, or lack thereof, as the Botha was audited out of frontline service and relegated to the role of a trainer. This was a symmetry-breaking decision that only moved the physics of death from the combat zone to the training schools. We analyze the forbidden logic of using an unstable, underpowered aircraft to train novice navigators and radio operators. The Botha's mechanical immortality in the training role was characterized by a series of zero-margin crashes that finally forced the RAF to issue an illegal grounds order, effectively ending the aircraft's career. This extended segment dives into the acoustic terror of the training airfields, where the sound of the Perseus engines became a signal of impending structural failure. We audit the internal ballistics of the training accidents, detailing how the Botha's tendency to stall without warning at low speeds turned routine landing drills into zero-margin survival tests. The narrative captures the industrial resignation of the instructors who were forced to fly a machine they knew was a mechanical dead end. We explore the forbidden resilience of the students who survived their time in the Botha, only to be transferred to more capable aircraft like the Avro Anson.
We then transitioned to the mechanical resurrection of the materials, as the Bothas were stripped of their engines and hardware to be recycled into better machines. We perform a final industrial audit of the 580 units produced at the Blackburn and Bolton Paul factories, analyzing the symmetry of waste that occurred when hundreds of brand-new aircraft were towed directly from the assembly line to the scrap heap. This section highlights the global resilience of the RAF's logistics, which managed to recover from the Botha audit and refocus on designs that actually adhered to the physics of flight. The documentary concludes with the legacy of the lattice, an analysis of how the Botha's failure forced the British aviation industry to adopt more rigorous structural integrity standards. The final cinematic shot shows a line of skeletonized Bothas waiting for the smelter in the rain, a mechanical warning that in the physics of war, an underpowered machine is a forbidden luxury that costs lives. We reflect on how the Botha became the woven ghost of the RAF, a plane remembered not for what it did, but for the industrial audit it failed, and the lessons it taught a nation on the brink of collapse.